Lukey, got a great show for you today. Yeah, it's all about life begets life and dead begets dead. And mycotoxin, that's the excrement that non-ecological life colloid use your and my body as a sewer sort of for itself and things. You've got a past, of course, which we all do. An involuted past, where we once breathed clean, you see, through light, and enzyme really was able to move freely, water turned and the blood stayed clean. You could imagine how then dead food sort of comes along and heat breaks the enzyme and current starts to slow, you see. And then detox that would ordinarily be starts to collapse a bit. That's what our show's about. You've got aflatoxin, and that's really what flesh and other foods over time could be broken down to and becomes an aflatoxin. And in the folds of all the flesh and things, of course, and of course you've got lots of animals beyond the pig that's being eaten. And cereals also, and nut and things that's being left out. Albumin, of course, is your super transporter, and as that's no longer in the blood like it should be because you've got excessive fibrin and globulin. I mean, this is the story where the blood is, and below this, of course, feeding everything, where you've got mitochondria. And so in the cells, you have all of this burned where it's a bit of a weight, and you've got a response, that's this TEX PSR response, which we can talk a little about in our program, which is a stress where the cell isn't having a voice of protein, of course, all getting piled up and folded wrong, where memory of immunity is dimmed. Dead food, of course, becomes more sediment, fermenting blood and clumping, of course, causing plaque to have formed, and this can have really dulled your brain. Of course, liver swelling and your bowels could have got stuck, of course, colon inflamed, and all of that comes to be a bit of a graveyard and a cemented of some forgotten enzymes, actually. So the involution of life really is a detox which has been forgotten where the breath is. So transformation really for you begins where life food is, and you could learn about this in terrain that gets cleared up, enzyme gets reborn, plasma starts to move again like a tide, and flesh toxin and all of those sorts of things gets fallen away. Mycotoxin no longer could carry a burden to have fed you, and Jump cell rejuvenation really awakens that silent T cell activation again. Otherwise, it's got an enzyme complex that really causes it to no longer function proper. And so immune system really could be turned more to a rhythm again. Hydrolysis resumes, and you've got another enzyme pathway, this FGF21, which we're going to talk a little bit about, and it rises, and where a signal is from your brain to the liver, it's turning fat to fuel, restoring harmony for you. Fasting really clears away all of the old sediment, and one meal and one breath, more or less, one light wave at a time, and starvation really isn't, but a feast more, because you're clearing away all of what's been lingering around for many years. Transformation for you really is quiet and total. The cell is remembering your song where an enzyme is. And this is the revelation, of course, because blood really could be turning more clear again, and you've cleared away aflatoxin, which we're going to talk about in the show. And otherwise, it gets bound to DNA, and methylation could, where's that, but now start to flow free, that you more do like food. Otherwise, there's a fatty liver, and that's gone, and that's swollen, and fibroblast kind of is singing this FGF21 enzyme system to get to balance. And the immune system stands upright more again where this is, you see, because digestion and communication really isn't the decay of a stool. And so no longer just coming out of you like a snake or compressed together, but nice and clean and complete. which you could talk a bit more about, like what a healthy stool is. Yet your mind really gets cleared up. Yes, it does. And the colon clears, light returns more to your thought, and life begets life, otherwise dead would have begotten dead. No life is yet where something is to give. There you go. It's life food which really restores all in reversing disease where you are. So fighting really isn't yet a mutual lived assistance is, where remembering is. And life food really isn't a diet. It's a definite resurrection through enzyme. It's a really great show that we've got coming up.